In this video, I'm going to show you how to combine multiple photos together in order to have an image that shows the same person or the same object multiple times. The first part of this obviously is to take your pictures, and it's very important that you take your pictures in a way that the background remains exactly the same throughout. So I used a tripod and made sure that my camera was not moving at all when the pictures were taken. And also nothing else was changed. The lights were not changed. There was nothing else in the pictures that moved or changed. It was just the person that changed. So I opened up 3 photos in Photoshop. I dragged them all into the PS icon, so make sure you do that so that they all open up in separate tabs. Okay, so now I have these 3 photos open. What I want to do is to combine them into one document. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to this photo here. I'm going to hit Command A to select all, Command C to copy it, and then I'm going to click on this first image and hit Command V to paste it. Okay, so now that you can see I have a background layer and layer 1 on top. Okay, so I've already used this picture, so I can X out of it so I don't get confused. And I'm going to go to this other photo that we haven't combined with the other 2 yet. So again, I'm going to hit Command A to select all, Command C to copy, and then click on my first picture here and hit Command V like Valentine to paste it. Okay. Now I can X out of this one because I've already used it. So you can see now that I have 3 layers. I have background, layer 1, and layer 2. What I want to do with each of these is to erase the background of the picture and leave just the person. So the easiest way that I've found to do this is to turn my other layers invisible. So I'm going to click on the eye here next to the layer and make those 2 invisible. I'm going to grab my eraser tool, and this can be a pretty big brush. It doesn't have to be done terribly meticulously because the background's so similar, or should be the same. So I'm going to use a large brush. I'm going to turn the hardness down so everything kind of blends together, and I'm going to erase all of the background. And you can see when you erase the background of an image and there's nothing underneath it, because these are invisible, it makes that checkerboard pattern, which means that it's empty. Okay? So now if I turn layer 1 back to visible, you can see that the background in layer 2 has been erased. I do see that it's actually in front of part of this area of the photo here, so I'm actually going to go back in and clean that up a little bit. So I'll turn this one invisible again, and I'm going to make my brush a little bit smaller and just get rid of a little more of this background. Let's see how it looks. That looks better. Okay. So now I'm going to do the same thing with layer 1. I'm going to click on layer 1 so that I know that that's the layer I'm working on. I'm going to make layer 2 invisible so it doesn't confuse me. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to erase the background of this layer. So I have my eraser tool here. I'll make the brush a bit bigger now. And erase everything besides my model. I see I erased a little bit of him because I'm using a soft brush. It went over a little bit, so I'm going to go back. Here's my history brush, not my history brush, my history right here. I can click back to steps before, so let's see. Alright, I'm just going to do that part again because it went over a little bit. Okay, so now if I make all my layers visible again, we'll see how it looks. Oh, now I see that a little bit of this layer is actually on top of him in this background layer, so I'll go back in to layer 2 and just clean that up a little bit more. Use a bit of a smaller brush for this. Let's see how that looks. There we go, looks pretty good. So yeah, you just want to make sure that none of your people are overlapping each other. If it is, it's not a big deal. You just go back and just clean up the background a little bit better. And that's how it's done. When you go to save your document, if you want to save the layers, you need to save it as a Photoshop file. That will be the default if you do have layers in your document. If you are done editing, you're not going to edit it anymore, you can save it as a .jpg file. And that's it.